live. No, this is L2C Media Network live from the Fred McLeod Sports Desk at the Tom O'Neill Studios in Jackson. This is Sports Final with Steve the Baxman Baxley, brought to you as always by the L2C Media Network. And now, with a lot of sports, sort of, a lot of headlines, and a cat behind the camera. Here he is, not peeling like a grape, but feeling like he just dumped a third of it. Steve, the Baxman. Hello, how you doing, everybody? Welcome to another brave edition of Sports Final. Missed you guys yesterday. Unfortunately, I did have a little, I have a little stomach flu, but I am okay. And we welcome you to this big old broadcast. I'm going to fun things here, otherwise known as the headphones, and just whittle while I work. Welcome, everybody. Welcome one and all to the Corsican Ball. That's right. We are glad to be here, and unfortunately, oh boy, did we return at a time where everything just stopped. But we can now tell you that week 15 has finally ended. No thanks to Omicron, the latest little bundle of flu to emanate from COVID-19's bountiful womb of blah. So let's give you some of the football scores from tonight and last night. Week 15, a fun week. So here we go. Final scores. Hallelujah, which means Wednesday we get to do our big five. So let's get to it with tonight's action. And Matthew Stafford did it again. The LA Rams shellacked yet another team as the LA Rams beat the Seattle Seahawks 20-10. And let's give you all that fun knowledge, shall we? For the Seahawks, to Wilson passed for 156 yards. Dallas, not the team, but the dude, rushed for had 8 rushing attempts for 41 yards and a touchdown, and Everett had 4 receptions for 60 yards. Meanwhile, on the Rams side, this kid, Matthew Stafford, who spent 12 years shackled with the Detroit Lions into doing a failed system of throwing the ball. And remember, he got traded to the Rams. They unshackled him, and look at what he's doing now. Tonight, especially 244 yards and 2 touchdowns. Mitchell, 18 rushing attempts, 92 yards, and Kupp was soupy. 9 receptions, 136 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The other game that was played on Tuesday was pretty darn good. The Eagles beat Washington 27-17, or as we like to affectionately call them, the Washington fill-in-the-blanks. 27-17. Gilbert for the fill-in-the-blanks. Passed for 194 yards. Gibson, 15 rushing attempts for 26 yards and a touchdown. And McLaurin, 2 receptions. Ertz, 296 yards, 1 touchdown. Saunders, 1 yards. And Goddard, 7 receptions, 135 yards. Monday night, actually, we'll put it this. Yeah, Monday night and Monday afternoon's games were The Los Angeles Raiders and the Cleveland Browns. Raiders beat the Browns by a deuce, 16-14. Carr passed for 236 yards and a touchdown. Jacobs, 15 rushing attempts for 52 yards. Jones, 6 receptions, 67 yards. Meanwhile, on the other side of darkness, Mullins for the Browns, 147 yards and a TD. Chubb was insured with 23 rushing attempts for 91 yards and a touchdown. And Peoples-Jones, 4 receptions, 48 yards. And was there another game? Yeah, there was, I do believe. Was there? Really? Another game? Was there another? Was there another game to report on, ladies and legumes? Let's see here. Yeah, Minnesota and Chicago. There was the other game. Yes. And it looks like the Bears will be looking for a new head coach. I wonder if Urban Meyer is available. Minnesota Vikings beat the Chicago Bears 17-9. Cousins for the Vikings, 87 yards, 2 touchdowns. Cook, 28 rushing attempts for 89 yards. Jefferson, 4 receptions. Thank you. 4 receptions and 47 yards and a touchdown. For the Bears, Fields was no dreams. 285 yards and a touchdown. Montgomery, 18 rushing attempts for 60 yards. And Kmet, 6 receptions for 71 yards. That, ladies and gentlemen, explains a lot. Anyway. Here's the playoff picture as it stands right now. Now, let's go to the AFC where the first round bye will let's try that again, shall we? We had background discussion. The AFC, the first round bye will at present go to the Chiefs at 10-4. Meanwhile, the Bills will take on the Patriots, the Chargers will take on the Titans, and the Colts will take on the Bengals. Meanwhile, on the NFC side, the Packers will take the first round bye. Meanwhile, Vikings at the Cowboys, 49ers at the Bucks, and the Rams at the Cardinals. That game's going to be mighty interesting. Indeed. So there we go on that side. That is your playoff picture up to date and not up late. Week 16 of the NFL goes like this. Thursday to 49 goes like this. And of course, we state once again, should anything happen with the Omicron variant of the COVID-19 virus, these schedules are subject to change. Thursday, December 23rd, 49ers take on the Titans. And as a Christmas present to the NFL fans around the world, on Christmas Day, we start at 4:30 on Fox when the Browns visit the Pack from the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field, sweet Lambeau Field. I hope you packed your long johns. Then at 8:15 on Christmas night on the NFL Network, it will be the Colts and Cardinals. Hello there, dandelion fluff. Yes, I am feeling better, and it's good. I'm in good voice, too. So there you go. There's the Thursday and Saturday rouse. Now, Sunday, the CBS 1 o'clock games will be Ravens and Bengals, Bills and Patriots, Jaguars and Jets, Chargers and Texans, And the 2-4, let's see, yeah, and the 2-4-25 games will be Broncos and Raiders, Steelers and Chiefs. Meanwhile, Fox, in their infinite wisdoms, their 1 o'clock games will be, Lions and Falcons, Rams and Vikings, Giants and Eagles, Buccaneers and Panthers, and the lone 4:05 game that they'll have are the Bears and Seahawks. So last week they had America's Game of the Week. This week, the 4:05 game will be the Game of the Week. WEAK. Wow, that's going to be something. Plus, of course, your Sunday night, the should we say grand finale? No, not grand finale. Next week will be the grand finale, I think. Well, the next two last NFL Sunday night game of the season will have the Washington fill in the blanks going up against the Dallas Cowboys. And on ESPN, Monday, December 27th, the Miami Dolphins and the New Orleans Saints. There you go. Now, leave us to bring you. We go from the NFL to the NBA. That's right, it's basketball time. And yes, I am feeling better. I am feeling so better, I just may sing. In fact, I did. So let's get to it. The lone NBA game that is still going on right now, TNT, obviously, Tuesday night double dip. Phoenix Suns are laying waste to the Los Angeles Lakers at the end of three quarters, 85-73. Now let's go for the final scores. New York Knicks beat the hapless Detroit Pistons by a score of 105-91. Miami Heat over the Indiana Pacers, 125-96. New Orleans Pelicans over the Portland Trail Blazers, 111-97. Dallas Mavericks over the Minnesota Timberwolves, 114-102. Wizards and Nets were postponed. Oh, jolly. Oh, jolly, 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 jolly. Let's give you the women's college basketball. No, we hit the wrong button again. Let's try that one more time. Bam. Here we go, folks. We go to the ladies' college basketball. Why? Because we're men. We let the ladies go first. And we go to it right now. Rudolph, boom. Give you all the scores. That's right. We have to do something to keep things entertained. So here we go. Number 1 ranked South Carolina over number 2 Stanford, 65-61. Number 6 Maryland over Coppin State, 98-52. Number 13 Georgia over South Alabama, 89-50. Number 15 Iowa over IUPUI. No, excuse me, I got that screwed up. IUPUI beat number 15 Iowa, 74-73. Pardon moi. 16th ranked Duke over Charleston Southern, 78-35. 17th ranked Georgia Tech over Boston University by a score of 78-49. Ole Miss beat 18th ranked South Florida, 61-53. 19th ranked BYU over Montana State, 89-67. 21 ranked LSU over Texas Tech, 74-60. 24th ranked Ohio State over San Diego State, 66 to Bloomin 54. 25th ranked North Carolina over Alabama State, 83-47. And Wright State and 8th ranked Indiana, they were postponed due to COVID. Okay, that was the women. Now, how about the men? How about the men? How about we give you the scores of the men? There weren't that many games going, sadly. So we grab and get here, so let's go to it. 9th ranked Iowa State over Chicago State, 79-48. Davidson over 10th ranked Alabama, 79-78. 11th ranked Michigan State, a 90-78 winner over Oakland in Detroit, Little Caesars Arena. 23rd ranked Villanova over 18th ranked Xavier by a score of 71-58. Number 7th ranked Kansas and Colorado, and 8th ranked USC and Oklahoma State were all canceled due to the Omicron virus birther of COVID-19. In other words, COVID-19 variant Omicron did in most of the sports. So there you go, kids. We may not be on for the full hour. And that's scary. But anyway, usually, oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. We got one more basketball little babu. Do we not? Yes, we do. We do. We think we do. Yes. So, let us give you. Yep, we got to get the 21st. Oops, hi there. I gotta wait for it to load up. Then I can spin the wheel, make the deal, and see what comes up and develop this. And here we go. Bam. You got it? Yeah, I got it. Oh, so we just go like this and we pronounce that College Park Skyhawks and Raptors 905 game in Las Vegas was canceled. Other games that were final in tonight's action from Vegas in the winter competition. The Oklahoma City Blue beat the Motor City Cruise by a score of 99-97. The Rio Grande Valley Vipers defeated the Maine Celtics 105-98. The Delaware Blue Coats over the South Bay Lakers 122-108. Fort Wayne Mad Ants defeated the Wisconsin Herd 155-103. Santa Cruz Warriors over Lakeland Magic 96-83. And the Salt Lake City Stars over the Cleveland Charge 123-97. Those are your final scores. Wednesday's going to be some fun. There's already been one cancellation, obviously. Texas Legends and the Raptors 905. Omicron, not Omicron. Omicron. There. Thank you, Dandelion. Thank you, Dandelion Floof, for giving me the pronunciable that I needed. Omicron. Sounds like something you'd see on Star Trek. Omicron. Mr. Spock, what do you know of this Omicron? Captain, I think it has something to do with Lieutenant Uhura's sex drive. Anyway. Let's get over. Usually we would play the anthem, the Canada's second anthem, which is, of course, the theme from Hockey Night in Canada. We would tell our guys to, it means little O in Greek. And the more you know, I just played the more you know music on a kazoo. No wonder it is the instrument of love. Anyway, it is time to go from the hardwood to the hard synthetic ice. Omega is big O. Omicron. Not Omicron. Omicron. All right. And wow. They still played, ladies and gentlemen, but here we go. And we do it. Thank you very much. our Hockey Night in Canada. And trust me when I tell you, oh, wow. Let's go first to games that are postponed. In other words, I took re. I took re. I took re. Cool. I took Greek in university. Ah, okay. Let's give you all the games that were postponed in the National Hockey League. Hurricanes and Bruins were no, the Hurricanes and Bruins got postponed, and that's not just a lot. No, Hurricanes and Bruins gone. Devils and Penguins so long. Blues and Senators go by. Capitals and Flyers fly by. Then, of course, the Jets and Preds. They all went to their separate beds. The Panthers and the Blackhawks also went into good night mode. Ducks and Flames, they too were postponed, you see. Coyotes and the Kraken, maybe they'll be back in. Then the Canucks and the Sharks were also postponed. So what games were left? There's only one we could do. Oompa loompa doopa dee doo. After period number 2, the defending double Stanley Cup champs Tampa Bay Lightning are tied with the Golden Knights of Vegas 3-3. OG, can you see? It's 3-3 as we go to period 3. Man. And we will also give you a little news as well. It's not looking good. We'll explain that in a moment. Right now, let's get you over to the NC2A, otherwise known as the NC2A. Let's check the men's division, see if anything happened tonight. No game scheduled. Okay. Let's check the ladies. There's got to be a game scheduled there. Isn't there? Ain't there? Won't there be? Someone, please let us know. And no game scheduled for women's college either. Okay. Let's go now to the minors. And we're not talking gold, but we love to talk scores. Anyway, so here we go. Wow. Here we go. The postponed du jour. Utica Comets, Belleville Senators, Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins, Toronto Marlies, Manitoba Moose, Texas Stars, all postponed. The Lehigh Valley Phantoms beat the Hershey Bears by a score of 2-1. And the Milwaukee Admirals blanked the Rockford Ice Hogs by a score of 2-0. And is that all there is? Yes, sir. That's all there is. There is no more there. So let's try Ontario. Oh, let us hope there's something good in Ontario. And no games scheduled for this week, but the 28th, there's 3 games. Going to end up covering dodgeball to fill time with all the cancellations. Yeah. Yes, pro dodgeball. Okay, so do we have any more minor league? Yeah, we got some more minor league games. Yes, we got. I'm hoping we got more minor league games. Let's Let's see about the ECHL, the East Coast Hockey League. Let's see if they've been given a blessing or two. Let's go to the scores. And in the schedule that we have for you today, wahaha. Hey, what do you know? No games tonight, but there's one game tomorrow, the Atlanta Gladiators and the Jacksonville Icemen. Okay, there you go. There's the ECHL. Okay, let's go Southern Professional Hockey League, or the SPIL. Let's see if they got any games going on. Way things are going right now, I kind of figured we might be doing tiddlywinks. But do we have any games? No games from the Southern Professional Hockey League. Well, we got one more hockey league to check, and that's the Federal Prospects Hockey League. Where there's a will, there's a way. And let's all go to the lobby. Hey, let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Doobie 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 doo ba ba. Okay, that's Saturday. Yada yada yada. Nope, no game scheduled. Dear loaded. No game scheduled on this little rapscallion of a league. Okay. So in essence, that's it for your hockey for a while. Speaking of hockey, we got a lot for you coming up in our headlines. So we might as well give you the biggest headline that occurred thanks to COVID. And apparently, let's give you this big one here. The NHL is hitting pause on its season Wednesday through Christmas Day in order to prevent further spread of COVID-19. The league made the announcement on Monday night. Earlier in the day, over 15% of the league's players were put in virus protocols. In total, 11 teams had their seasons paused over outbreaks before the league decided to pause play. The NHL will mandate all teams close their facilities from the 22nd to the 25th. If they stick with this plan, players will be allowed to return on December 26th and games will resume a day later. I'm telling you this right now. The only people that will be glad to get this hockey league, to get hockey rescheduled, to get hockey back are the folks at Sinclair Broadcasting's owned Bally's Sportsnet. We gotta take. Do we? You want to take a look at the Sinclair's stock prices after we bloop with this? Okay. Also, we might as well break some news, and we did earlier today on our Facebook page. But it looks like, and we say it looks like, let's see. Okay. Well, this is news that I think we knew was coming. So let's give it to you. The National Hockey League has officially made it official. They will not send its players to compete in the men's ice hockey tournament at the Beijing Olympics due to COVID-19 concerns, as the highly transmissible Omicron variant of the coronavirus COVID-19 spreads globally. Our friends at ESPN reported tonight. The NHL and its Players Association agreed last September to pause its regular season so the world's top players could compete in Beijing, with the caveat that it could withdraw if COVID-19 disruptions forced games to be rescheduled during the Olympic window. That had begun looking increasingly likely in recent days, with the NHL being forced to postpone 50 games in Canada and the U.S. after a growing number of players entered the COVID-19 protocols, while Omicron, I'm getting it, tore through professional sports leagues with fully vaccinated players testing positive. The NHL did not immediately respond to a request for comment. ESPN said in a formal announcement on opting out of the Beijing Games was expected within the next 24 hours. The NHL had until January 10th to withdraw from the Beijing Olympics, scheduled for February 4th through the 20th, without any penalty financially. Players had mostly been eager to return to the largest international stage, but concerns that a positive test in China could lead to a 21-day quarantine and delay returning to their families and NHL clubs had dampened that enthusiasm for some. Edmonton Oilers star Connor McDavid, who is expected to be a top player for Canada, said last week, quote, "Obviously, it's unsettling if that were to be the case when you go over there." Now, NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman said in early December that the decision on participating in Beijing would ultimately come down to the players, but added that the league's concerns had only been magnified by the COVID-19 outbreak. Now, the NHL, unhappy over the prospect of interrupting a regular season to send their most valuable assets overseas where they can get hurt, ended a run of participation in 5 consecutive Winter Olympics when it decided not to go to Pyeongchang in 2018. The presence of NHL players at the Olympics made the men's ice hockey tournament one of the marquee events of the global sporting showcase. Now, their absence will have an impact on the Canadian and U.S. teams the most, given that their entire Olympic hockey rosters would be made up of NHL players. Other medal contenders like Sweden, Finland, Russia, and the Czech Republic are less dependent on NHL talent. The Washington Capitals Philadelphia Flyers game, which was scheduled for Tuesday night, became the 50th NHL game delayed this season for coronavirus reasons. Wiping out the Caps Flyers left the Tampa Bay Lightning at the Vegas Golden Knights as the only game left in the NHL this week. The League and Players Association agreed to begin the annual holiday break early and push off the games that were scheduled for Thursday. So there you go, folks. So no Olympics in Beijing for the NHL. And that was a breaking story from earlier this afternoon. So there you go. Wow. Yeah, let's get a check to see if the Rep Master has got a telecast tonight. Of course, I'm talking about Nick Rakita, who has been streaming the trial in Arizona. And so I personally don't think he's been doing the Kim Potter teaser trial. And they continue day 15 of jury deliberation, and it kind of looks like the jury could be deadlocked. So there might be an acquittal in this. So no live stream of our usual humble humble Minnesota lawyer, Mr. Nick Rakita, for law explaining the interwebs, but he will be back tomorrow morning for continuing coverage of jury deliberations, day 16 of the Kim Potter trial. So there you go on that side of the dais. You're kidding. No live broadcast-vous. No live law explaining the interwebs show tonight. Okay, so we'll tackle that. There went that commercial. There went that plug. Okay, and speaking of sports that are being ravaged by COVID, Adam Silver said his league is not going to shut down. They're going to play. Well, as COVID-19 once again sweeps across the sports leagues, the NBA, the league has had to make major adjustments. 7 games have already been postponed as more players enter the health and safety protocols each day. It's possible that the number will rise in the near future. In particular, the league is concerned about the big Christmas Day slate and has started making contingency plans. Now, according to the Athletics' Shams Shariana, changes to the schedule could come as late as the 24th, and the NBA is planning to prioritize the 2:30 to 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. time slots on national TV per ESPN's NBA guru Adrian Wojnarowski. But while there may have to be further schedule changes, Adam Silver made it clear Tuesday that the league has no plans to pause the season. Silver said in a press conference, quote, "This virus will not be eradicated and we're not going to have to learn to live with it," end quote. Now, as it stands, here is your Christmas Day schedule of basketball games. The Atlanta Hawks at the New York Knicks at noon, Boston Celtics, Milwaukee Bucks at 2:30, Golden State Warriors at Phoenix Suns at 5, Brooklyn Nets at the Los Angeles Lakers at 8, and Dallas Mavericks at the Utah Jazz wrapping it up at 10:30. Those games will be on ESPN and, of course, ABC. Good night, Dandelion. And looking at all the teams here, I mean, the Nets are the hardest hit team in the league with 10 players currently in protocols, including the big three, Kevin Durant, James Harden, and Kyrie Irving, the latter of whom tested positive for COVID-19 almost immediately after starting the process of rejoining the team. They've already had 2 games postponed to December 19th, Denver Nuggets, and December 21st, Washington Wizards. Players who test positive for COVID-19 must isolate for 10 days, at least, from either the onset of symptoms or the positive test. They could exit protocol after those 10 days passed, or if they were returned 2 negative PCR tests at least 24 hours apart. That means the Nets could have a number of players back by Christmas, including Harden, who entered on December 14th. Durant, however, entered on December 18th, which means his availability is slim to none. And other big names to scheduled to play on Christmas who are currently in the protocols include Giannis Antetokounmpo, Trae Young, Andrew Wiggins, and Al Horford. The former entered on December 14th, so he could be cleared by Christmas, but the other 3 are unlikely to be available that a day. And wow, you gotta be kidding me. As you know, Michigan and Georgia are to meet coming up for the Orange Bowl, the Capital One Orange Bowl at 7:30 on ESPN in Miami. But Georgia's quarterback, JT Daniels, as confirmed by Dogs247, has tested positive for COVID. The 4th-year junior quarterback who began the season as UGA's starting signal caller will miss at least some time leading up to the team's matchup with number 2 ranked Michigan in the Capital One Orange Bowl. UGAsports.com was the first to report on this. Now, according to SEC's COVID-19 testing protocols during the regular season, vaccinated players are only required to test if they show symptoms. Trusted sources tell Dogs247 that Daniels is indeed vaccinated, meaning that he must have been showing symptoms to prompt the test. Dogs247 is also told that Daniels is the only Bulldog who has tested positive. Persons with knowledge of the situation stopped short of calling it an outbreak or a widespread issue, but they also acknowledge how quickly things could change in that regard with the Omicron variant spreading quickly. We're also told that there are multiple staff members who are also dealing with the positive test. So there you are on that slate. Man, I think this COVID could be a blessing in disguise for Michigan now. But we'll just have to, as I say, wait and see what the wind blows. And here we go. Another NFL report, and this is how much fun the NFL has become. You're gonna love this. A man from New Jersey has admitted to impersonating a New England Patriots player in order to get family and friends Super Bowl rings. On Monday, 24-year-old Scott Spina said he sold 3 rings with Tom Brady's last name on them after impersonating a different Patriots player in order to acquire them, according to NBC News. One of the rings sold for over $300,000 at auction. Spina pled guilty to one count of mail fraud, 3 counts of wire fraud, and 1 count of aggravated identity theft in connection with the scheme, reported by NBC News. Assistant U.S. Attorney Eric M. Silber said, quote, by pretending to be a New England Patriots player, the defendant was able to get Super Bowl rings from the company that issued them, but in offering the rings for sale, he was also selling their connection to Tom Brady, a story that simply did not hold up upon close scrutiny. Unfortunately, in his effort to profit on Tom Brady's name, the defendant defrauded a number of people, including those at the ring company, the buyer of the rings, and those in the collectible market more broadly. Now, in 2017, Spina messaged a former Patriots player, referred to in court documents as TJ, on Instagram asking if a Super Bowl 51 ring was for sale, according to NBC News. Spina gave TJ a bad check in exchange for the ring. He also acquired a document for a website for the company that sells the Super Bowl rings, along with the player's username and password, giving him access to order family and friends rings, which are smaller than player rings from the Super Bowl. Spina sold that player ring for $63,000 to a California broker. He then told the ring company he wanted to buy rings with Brady's name engraved on the side, saying they were gifts for the baby of quarterback Tom Brady. Spina convinced a memorabilia broker identified as SW in court documents that he knew Brady's nephews and said they would sell him the rings. The broker said he would pay Spina $81,500 for 3 rings with an advance of $6,500. But the broker eventually ended up backing out of the deal altogether after questioning Spina on if Brady had any nephews and why the geotags of the photos Spina had sent him were connected to New Jersey and not Massachusetts, where he claimed the nephews were located. After the deal fell through, Spina instead sold the rings for $100,000 to an auction house in November of 2017. One ring was sold by the auction house for $337,219 in February 2018. Spina is scheduled to make his first appearance for ring fraud in court on January 31st. Wow. That is completely strange. By the way, our last NFL report, there are more than 140 players on the COVID list now. And I'm not going to read all the players' names. If you want to know whom they are, go to NFL.com. You'll find the list. I mean, this is wild. This is wild. This is crazy. And with Leonard Fournette out, and expected to miss the rest of the regular season, well, he's back. That's right. The Buccaneers signed veteran running back Le'Veon Bell on Tuesday. And they may have just solidified their Super Bowl chances with that pick, with that signing. But we'll find out when the time has come and we all get to cha-cha dancing. So right now, let's go to the let's go now to this little cadaver, which is, of course, well, we've already done the playoff picture, but we'll do a more full report tomorrow on the playoff picture. Right now, speaking of football, that ball with the roundness, soccer ball, is coming up. And we'll tell you about that. We'll also tell you a few other things. Let's go to the scorages, folks. Okay, in the EFL Cup, it was Arsenal over Sunderland 5-1. The EFL Trophy, Harrogate Town over Tranmere Rovers 2-1. And we go on, National League North. Wesley over Telford United 1-0. The FA Trophy, Bradford and FC Halifax Town ended in a 3-3 tie, but FC Halifax won on penalties 5-3. In Scottish football action, otherwise known as Scottish soccer action, Elgin City over Stirling Albion 1-0. In the Lowland League, it was Celtic B over East Kilbride 3-0. Sirmu Premier Caernarfon Town over Flint Town United 4-3. Irish Premier Soccer, Dunnigan Swifts and Warrenpoint Town tied at 2. Linfield over Ballymena United 1-0. Over at the Spanish La Liga, it was Villarreal 5, Alaves 2, and Seville and Barcelona tied at 1. Italian cities A, Genoa and Atalanta tied at 0. Juventus and Cagliari 2-0. And finally, the Turkish Super League, Antalyaspor and Kazımpaşa 1-1. Istanbul over Giresunspor 3-1. Adana Demirspor over Galatasaray 2-0. Trabzonspor and Altay 2-1. There's your final score. Do we have anything in the media to report on? I do believe maybe. I think we've. By the way, 6 UEFA Champions League round of 16 matches will air on CBS television. That means your local CBS affiliate will be covering some great action, and we'll be playing the most downloaded, haunting sports theme ever, what we like to call the UEFA theme. So, watch and enjoy, as they say. And if you want to watch your local sports team, baseball, hockey, basketball, don't order Dish Network, because Dish is now completely Regional Sports Network free. That's right. Dish, long the poster child for providers dropping Regional Sports Network, is now Regional Sports Network. Monday night, the satellite company dropped the New England Sports Network, the final RSN that it carried. In a statement, Dish's Brian Nayland called the RSN model, quote, fundamentally broken, end quote. They claimed they made various offers to NESN, including making it a standalone package or adding it to different packages. Dish's, what do we have here? Dish's antipathy towards RSN truly began in 2016 when the then Fox RSNs were dropped, leading to Dish's hierarchy, Charlie Ergen, saying, quote, it doesn't look good that the regional sports will ever be on Dish again, end quote. Well, he was right. Dish dropped Colorado-based Altitude later in 2019. Following that, they dropped the NBC Sports and AT&T Sportsnet regional sports networks early this year in the midst of an already resolved carriage dispute with Sinclair based around local network affiliates this summer. Ergen claimed that we don't have any customers calling us on RSNs today. Now, as for NESN, it's not available on the Dish-owned Sling, Google-owned YouTube, or Disney-owned Hulu Live. Your only streaming options are Fubo and DirecTV Stream, the only streamer with the Bally Sports RSN, which will be getting a price hike in the new year. Wow. I'm going to say this. Maybe I have a feeling that Dish is going to be doing something that Hulu and others, including your local cable outlets, may be doing starting next year. We shall see indeed. Okay, well, we got one more little Claudadad to do before we sign off the air tonight. Don't forget Wednesday. We will bring you the results from the final edition of AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite on TNT. It's our holiday bash. Jim Ross is reportedly supposed to be back um, from the lovely thing known as chemotherapy for cancer, skin cancer, I should say. So we welcome Mr. Jim Ross back tomorrow night. That is correct, isn't it? Yeah, that is correct. Thank you. So we've already done Spain and Italy. Let's do the Euro Cup. Bursaspor over Ulm, 68-66. Venezia over Prometheus, 78-68. Budenkost over Borg, 86-82. Levalis over Morabank Andorra, 81-74. Cedvita Olimpija over Valencia, 97-85. In hockey, Sweden, Malmo over Timrå, 6-3. And in the third period, Tampa Bay leads the Vegas Golden Knights 4-3. In the Czech Republic, Pardubice over Sparta Prague, 3-2. Plzeň over Olomouc, 5-2. Mountfield HK over Kladno, 9-2. Cesc Bujovic over Ziln, 5-2. Mlada Bolsov over Kometa Brno, 3-2. Liberec over Karlovy Vary, 3-2. And Trinek over Litvinov, 3-1. And we repeat tonight's NFL from today. Los Angeles Rams beat the Seattle Seahawks 20-10. And the Philadelphia Eagles whitewashed the Washington fill-in-the-blanks 27-17. Ladies and gentlemen, we made it. We made it, and how we're going to repeat it tomorrow, we'll just have to wait and see. But for now, and I say this with all humbleness, thank you all very much for tuning in on a very chill night in the world of sports. We will be back tomorrow night, same time, same place, for your dining and dancing pleasure. Thank you, everybody, for watching. For Harry von Stuttgart and everybody else in the land of sports from our little Fred McLeod sports desk here at the Tom O'Neill Studios in Jackson. I'm Steve the Baxman Baxley saying thank you for watching, and until tomorrow night at 11:35 Eastern. This has been Sports Final, presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with the fun folks over at the L2C Media Network and L2C Sports. We'll see you tomorrow night, everybody.